Are you worried you're not doing enough with your shy rescue dog because he's just not ready for normal dog things like long walks and such? I know I was when I adopted my first rescue dog, Sammy. And that all changed when we started our favorite hobby together. But before I tell you about that, let me say this. If you just recently adopted your rescue dog, they are almost certainly very occupied with getting used to the whole new living situation, all the new things that are in your home and you yourself. So they're relatively certainly not bored. But finding a hobby together has many other benefits as well. We can use it in tricky situations. We can use it to overcome fear. We can use it as a bonding experience. So without further ado, let's talk about sniffing. Sniffing is a very flexible activity. And for Sammy and me, it was a real game changer. Now, it can be anything from very simple search games to real scent work, depending on your dog's personality, how far you want to take it, how motivated you both are. We started very simple. And yes, you can do something like this as well, where your dog just searches an obstacle course. But more about that later. Real targeted sniffing includes a cue, so you can send your dog to go sniff or search for something. Our target scent, I start with food because it's natural, our dogs are scavengers, and it's very easy in the beginning. And a reward, but the food itself is a reward. So you have 2 for 1. Now, start where your dog feels most comfortable. That can be indoors or in your backyard, depending on how much space your dog needs. First, you just throw the treat on the ground because you're teaching your dog the treat no longer comes from you directly, but is now a little bit away from you. Make sure your dog sees you actually losing the treat, right? So we don't want to frustrate our dogs with them not getting what we're doing. After a few reps, you will see that your dog starts anticipating what's happening. So they might sniff a little bit longer, they might lower their noses before the treat's on the ground, they might just sniff the ground without any treats, or they might just look at you, look at the ground, something like that. Then you can add your cue. So you say your cue and then you drop the treat. So your dog learns whenever this cue happens, a treat will be on the ground. Sure. 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 Now, again, your dog is probably still using their eyes. That's fine. We just want to make the connection first. If you don't have a very motivated dog, you can also throw the treat a little bit. So your dog gets into hunting mode just a little bit. That usually makes the motivation higher. Now, after that works, again, same cues to watch out for. You can teach a stay because in the long run, you want to put your dog somewhere, hide the treat, and then send your dog to go sniff, right? So this is how you teach a stay.
We give our hand signal to our dog and immediately mark and reward for staying. We do not make it too difficult so that our dog really cannot make any mistakes. He just stays where he is and he immediately gets a reward for that. Step number 2. We move a little bit backwards, but not a whole step yet, because again, we don't want our dogs to make any mistakes. So we make it as easy as possible for them. And if that works really good, we can do step number 3 and actually move a step backward. And if that works as perfectly as with Sammy here, we can vary our movements a little bit. Only do as much as you're sure your dog will be able to successfully stay with, and only make one thing harder. So you can either increase the distance you walk away, or you can change your movement. And if he's just not paying any attention, I'm getting his attention back first, and then he gets his hand signal again. With moving around him, very often our dogs want to watch what we're doing, so they get up and turn around, and that's fine for me as long as the dog stays where I put him. And if that works well as well, we can place our first object to search. And at this step, we can either reward with a treat, or we can reward with the search itself. Depends on how reliable the stay is and what our dogs actually like better.
And now you can put these two together, and after your dog gets the hang of it and knows what to do when you send them sniffing, you can introduce more tricky hiding places. So always start out with your dog seeing what you're doing, and only after your dog is confident in the whole search game thing, you can actually hide it. But hide it easy enough so your dog will have success. Be sure about that. We don't want to lose motivation with making it too hard too fast, right? Now, as soon as this works in your home environment where your dog feels safe, you can take it into more tricky environments. Be sure your dog has fun with this. There's no pressure, there is no coercion, there is no force or whatsoever. The most important thing is to have fun together. Now, for scent work, your dog is supposed to sniff out one specific scent. It works very similarly to the food, but with one difference. We now have to teach our dogs that the new scent is actually important, because with food is already important. The new scent, however, is probably not. So what we do is we pair food with the new scent. I like to use canisters with holes in it. That just makes the setup easier.
Good. Good.
After your dog reliably sniffs on the can, you can move the can and see if your dog still puts the nose to it. If your dog does that, move it closer to the ground. As soon as the can is on the ground, reward your dog for putting the nose on the can.
Thank you. Good. Thank you. Good.
Then you can put the can in different locations, put a treat on it, so your dog finds the can and the treat and rewards himself. Then you remove the treat and mark and reward as soon as your dog finds the can. Then you can add more cans, and then you can make it harder. And whenever you make search games harder, think drafts, wind, 3D, so higher ground, distractions. Anything is possible, really. Which search game is the perfect fit for your dog is totally individual. Also, how you use it for tricky situations is totally individual. Some dogs even like other stuff better than search games. Some dogs need something that doesn't include you as a person because you're too scary for your dog. And those things can be as easy as toilet paper rolls or a therapeutic food scatter, or something like this, an obstacle course that's safe for your dog to do by himself. If you're not sure what it is for your dog and your dog's not showing you enough to find out by yourself, go to the description, book a free call. We see how I can help you, not only with the best hobby, but how to tackle your dog's fears and build that trusting relationship you want. Tell me in the comments if you have tried any sniffing game yet. I would love to know. Now, if you want more inspiration on different games you can play with your dog and some more sniffing games, watch this.